Hello Recipe Hub fans, this is Gergely and this is my Cedarwood channel. Atlas Cedarwood channel because the other one is Cedarwood Virginian, but that's going to be a different one, and then I'm going to highlight a little bit of differences between the two oils. So today I brought you a aftershave spray, and as you can see I'm freshly shaved. So I actually use this spray myself because I made it in the morning before starting filming because I love the smell, and it really helps after the kind of like little bit of itchiness, because when you use the razor you sort of like sometimes scrape the skin. So anyways, this is actually for man, but I guess that you could use it as a woman if you shave your legs, who knows. Anyways, so the first oil that I included is Cedarwood Atlas Certainty. The second one is Mandarin and its playfulness. And the third one is Vetiver, which is grounding. I think that the combination of these three oils is not just perfectly, I like the smell, the aroma, and I showed it to many of my friends, guys, and sometimes obviously they have doubts about like using essential oils and aftershave and stuff, but many of them tried it and they loved it. So the reason I use these three oils is because, just let's talk a little bit about shaving, right? So we are shaving off the hair, especially me, from my skin. And what happens then, that we, as I told you, we just scrape a little bit with the razor the top of the skin, and maybe you have like minor bruises. I mean, like minor little cuts on the surface that we don't see. And what happens that these oils have these different properties. So for example, Atlas Cedarwood is a great tonifier oil, or tonifying the skin, and also it's an astringent. So that means that it helps sort of like pull together the tissue. So after like you use the shaving foam, which actually soften your skin so that you can cut you can cut with the razor more easily. So after that, what we need is pulling the pores together so that we can also prevent from any kind of bacteria going in. And Mandarin is the second oil, which is also a great antiseptic oil. Most of the citrus essential oils, you might be or with some of them you must be very cautious when you use it on your skin and going out to the sun or to the solarium. But Mandarin is not really a concern, and then also there's like a very small amount of Mandarin in it, so you shouldn't worry about that. And the third oil, which is vetiver, it's a very grounding oil. And if you smelt vetiver, and if you love vetiver, you know it is a very masculine oil as well. Although, funny enough, many women love it. Many women love it just as a perfume, not just because of its grounding and a great essential oil to help you with sleep, for example, but it's because of the aroma, right? So I think Atlas Cedarwood with Mandarin and Vetiver is a very masculine blend, and it's great for as an after-shave spray. Now, coming back to the recipe, I tell you the proportions, and of course these are only proportions that you can always change yourself. What do I put it in? What do I put in the essential oils? So rather than putting them into some distilled water, for example, it's an excellent choice to use hydrosols or hydrolats for this product. So what I want to use, or what I would like to use, what I use sometimes, I actually have had lavender hydrosol today in my blend, in my spray. But you could also use Roman Chamomile, which are great antiseptic, has antiseptic properties. And because hydrosols um, tend to have a very minute amount of essential oil, so that it also adds up to the whole blend. So in my blend, for the spray, I used 1 ounce, which is about 40 milliliters of lavender or Roman Chamomile hydrosol. I used Atlas Cedarwood essential oil, 6 drops, and I used Mandarin essential oil, 10 drops, and I used Vetiver essential oil, 2 drops. Now, about Mandarin, there are pretty much like basically like 2 types that you can find on the market. One is red Mandarin or orange Mandarin, or how you call it. You know, it's about the color of the Mandarin itself and from which they extract the essential oil from. So there's green Mandarin, which I find absolutely stunning. It's greenish, it's fresh, whereas normal Mandarin, or what we know is a yellow or a red Mandarin, however you call it, is sweeter. It's sweeter. It's typically that kind of Mandarin that when you eat it when you were a kid, it reminds me of my childhood. Green Mandarin, however, and is also an absolute nice botanical perfumery, basic essential oil. So, if you liked this recipe, join me for the next one in at the cedarwood or any other recipes. And until that, happy blending!